A very good day to one and all who have joined with us today. This is Dr. Malay Alagu, Director of Physical Education of Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sheshan Jain College for Women. I am very happy to welcome each and every one of you for the 7 days faculty development program on field hockey organized by the IQAC and Department of Physical Education of Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sheshan Jain College for Women, Srinagar, in association with Hockey Unit of Tamil Nadu. On behalf of our college and the Hockey Unit of Tamil Nadu, I deem it as my pleasure to welcome the special invitees, Mrs. Renuka Lakshmi, General Secretary, Hockey Unit of Tamil Nadu, and I also welcome the resource persons, Mr. Muhammad Munir, FIH International Hockey Umpire, and Mr. Anil Kumar, National Level Umpire. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation to be the resource person. I welcome all the hockey players of the country, physical directors of various colleges, universities, academies, and also other participants for this virtual faculty development program. Hope you all will have a fruitful session for the coming 7 days. During this pandemic situation, the Indian Olympic Association prefers to celebrate the day and spread cheer among athletes and youngsters. Our college takes this opportunity to host the FDP to inculcate the values and benefits of sports. We have an Iron Lady with us in this occasion who have been a torchbearer for more than 2 decades to promoting hockey in Tamil Nadu. Now, may I invite Mrs. Renuka Lakshmi, General Secretary, Hockey Unit of Tamil Nadu, to speak a few words in this occasion. Ma'am, please.
A very warm welcome to all those who are online on this very significant day in the arena of sports, celebrating Olympic Day 2020. It takes immense pleasure on my behalf of Hockey Unit of Tamil Nadu to thank the management of the Sri Shankara Sundarbai Sheshan Jain College for Women with their internal quality assurance cell and the physical education department to host the 7-day online faculty development program on field hockey. And a special thanks to their physical education, Dr. Malay Alagu. We take this opportunity to have with us the 2 starlets of the Indian hockey technical team, and that's the FIH technical official, Mr. Mohammed Munir, and Anil Kumar, our national umpire. I'm sure their vast experience and knowledge, it will be appropriate for them to take us along with these 7 days for a successful session. Olympic Day 2020 is celebrated on 23rd June worldwide despite the global coronavirus. At this difficult time, we need to join together the hope of optimism and solidarity. The value of Olympism is excellency, friendship, and respect. The Olympic message to us from our FIH president and our Indian Olympic Association, Dr. Narendra Batra, is to stay strong, stay fit, and stay healthy. India Ka Game Hockey is a famous love slogan of our country. Despite the circumstances caused by the epidemic, we continue to celebrate Olympic Day with a theme: play safe, stay active, stay fit. Join together to use the power of sports with hope and confidence. Olympic Day is celebrated to enhance the awareness and importance of sports in our country. Hockey Unit of Tamil Nadu determines the passage for the Tamil Nadu's most promising youth of tomorrow to the prestigious Olympic movement. Olympic Day is a symbol of hope. With this hope, let's strive together for the quest of gold. Once again, I thank all the participants, the organizers, the management of the college, and our faculties, Mr. Munir and Mr. Anil Kumar. Wish you all the best. I'm sure Tamil Nadu is going to host one of the most important session today which will take us a long way. Good luck. Thank you so much. I hand over to Malayalam.
Now I take immense pleasure in introducing the resource person, Mr. Mohammad Munir, FIH International Hockey Umpire, who is going to handle the first session of the day. Mr. Munir, FIH International Hockey Umpire, FIH World Panel and Pro League Technical Official. He officiated as Technical Official at Commonwealth Games 2010, New Delhi, Asian Games 2010, and FIH Men's World Cup 2010. And also Junior World Cup 2016 Lucknow, World Cup 2018 Bhubaneswar, Champions Trophy 2012, Asian Games Qualifying Tournament 2010 Dhaka, Bangladesh, Asian Games Qualifiers 2018 Muscat, FIH World Finals Bhubaneswar. Over to Munir sir.
Thank you very much. A very late good afternoon to everybody. Okay, all said and done, everything has been very rightly and precisely brought to your notice by the Secretary of Hockey Unit of Tamil Nadu, Madam Renuka Lakshmi, and Madam Dr. Mayalakam. Okay, let's not. I will not talk much more about how to introduce myself, that had already been introduced. Let me just start off with the basics about the technical aspects of the game of hockey. As all of you know, hockey is a very fast game and at the same time a very tactical game with a lot of interpretations and with a lot of stoppages and excitement and whatever you think is fit. But end of the day, it is the question of how well it is being managed by the umpires on the field, and of course off the field we have the technical officials. All right. So why do we need the technical officials during a hockey match? Mainly because the game, the speed of the game, the number of issues coming during interpretation of the rules by the umpires, which also enables all spectators and those involved in the game of hockey to observe. Okay, so it has become very difficult for the umpires, as in the previous years, where they used to do all the notings of goal scorers, cards given, all that. So it was decided in the FIH, by the FIH or the governing body of hockey, to have technical officials. That is, two different type of technical officials will be involved in a match. One will be the judges and two will be the technical officer. Today we are going to speak more about the judges and later on tomorrow about the technical officials. Okay, judges. As you see on the screen, if you see the job description of the judges is what we are going to speak today. Normally, judges will be appointed by the state unit or the district unit or the national federation. Okay, that is the judges, depending on the tournament and the number of teams participating or the mode of the competition, the judges will be appointed. Okay, so normally two judges will be appointed by the TD for each match in order to assist the team. Okay, now we are going to see how these two judges are required. Okay, so judges, the basic requirement of a judge when it comes to a tournament is, and it's mandatory in the sense it is a must that he should attend the pre-tournament meeting for the TOs and judges. Okay, so this will be decided by the tournament director for the place, date and time of the meeting, which will be normally held one day before the start of the tournament. Okay, the reason why I'm telling you this is very mandatory for the judges to attend the meeting is all the briefing as to the conduct of the match, the conduct of the tournament, the method of organizing, the various duties and responsibilities to be taken up by the judges and the technical will be informed by the TD. So we have to, as a judge, as an appointed judge of the tournament, we have to work as per the briefing of the tournament director in the tournament. It could differ. It could be very different from, for example, from an All India tournament to a inter-institutional tournament or to a national championship. Okay, so the different level of tournaments, the TD may have a lot of duties assigned to the judges during the before the tournament, during the tournament, and after the tournament. Okay, so it's very mandatory that you attend the meetings. Okay, right. There are certain things like this is something like the preparation of the judge when he goes for a tournament. Okay, normally what happens is when you have come to a tournament as a judge, okay, now you need to go prepare yourself to go to the pitch. So what are the personal equipment you need to take? Okay, so which will ideally be a stick ring, which to measure the bow of the stick. Okay, the stick ring, the standard stick ring is to measure the size of the stick. Okay, a stopwatch, and then a whistle. Apart from the necessary pen, pencil, and writing, it looks a little bit silly and simple when you say that, but please keep in mind anything can happen. Suppose if you say the clock is not working, then you have to depend on your stopwatch to check the time of the match. Okay, then you have to dress yourself according to the weather conditions. Like if it is going to be a rainy day, then maybe you need to have your wind cheater with you, or if it's going to be very cold, then you may need to have a blazer with you, the protective equipment and all. Or if it's going to be really hot, then you may need to have your anti-sun gear. Okay, right. So when you start to leave from the hotel to the pitch, for some tournaments like grade 1 tournaments, or where the tournament where there's a lot of security level. Suppose if you're going to have a tournament in Jammu Kashmir, and then the security is going to be tight, so where you'll be provided with accreditation. Okay, so you must have your accreditation with you. Okay, then the copy of the appointment sheet. Why we need to have a copy of the appointment sheet, I'll come to you later. And then again, you need to have the tournament regulation, the recent tournament regulations with you, and the rules of hockey. Okay, these may not be necessary as of now because most of it is there on the mobile. Your tournament regulations, your rules of hockey booklet, all is there in the mobile. But these are all what was in practice and what is being still practiced. Although we have advanced very much in the electronic section, so but these are a few things at the basic level. We what I am telling you is all at the basic level, which we cannot think otherwise. Okay, then why we say we have to take a official transport from the hotel to the stadium to be there prior at least 30 minutes before the start of the match. Okay, the reason why is if you are there as a team, you are here also to conduct the match just like the players who are playing the game. Okay, so when there are two teams, then the third team is the technical team. So you have to be as a team. So you start to be as a team even before you go to the pitch, like leaving with going with the empires, going with the technical. Okay, but if you think the otherwise, in some tournaments like in All India tournament, when there is no transport provided and you have to make your own arrangements, but always be clear to inform the desk or your transport officer that you have already left and that you will meet them at the pitch, so that they will not be looking around for you. Okay, so that is what you need a checklist to do before you depart from the hotel. Okay, right. So what are the duties of the judges when or before arriving at the venue? Okay, so the first thing is you must be aware that you are the judges and you are under the control of the technical officer who is posted for the match by the TD. Okay, so you need to report to the technical officer who is otherwise called the match director or the match manager or whatever you may say. you have to report to the technical officer at least 20 minutes before. Meaning, this is a minimum time I'm telling you. Even if you're there half an hour before, everybody will be happy. The TD will be happy, the umpires will be happy, the TO will be happy. Okay. Then a few things you need to check to coordinate with the technical officer or help the technical officer, who in turn will be helping the TD to run the tournament. Okay. So you need to check the availability of the medical doctor, which is very, very important. Although it may not be a job, but to coordinate with the technical officer, you need to check the availability of medical doctor on duty. Most important, the stretcher and if the stretcher bearers, and find out where they are. They may be there somewhere inside the stadium, but you need to see that they are made available close to the pitch. Okay. Then again, we need to check the players' clothing. Okay, the colors of the players' clothing I will come a little bit later, but we have to ensure the colors of the players' clothing and umpire shirts as per the appointment sheet. Okay, because the reason is the colors to be worn by the players, by the teams, is already declared by the tournament director, which means he says that each team should wear a different color. So he decides on the colors, which is all preset based on the entry form details. Okay. Then you also should make sure that there is no clash of the uniform with the players or with the teams with that of the ball boys. Okay. Why we are telling all this is, the reason is there should not be any clash of colors around the pitch. Okay, so you have to make sure that there is no clash of colors between the ball boys and the teams. And then the most important, the goalkeepers. The goalkeepers must be wearing a distinctive color with numbers both front and back. Distinctive colors means it should be different from both the teams. For example, if A team is wearing yellow and B team is wearing red, so the goalkeepers cannot wear yellow and red. Okay, but both the colors of the goalkeepers can be the same and still different from both the teams. Okay, that you need to be very careful in checking, because it's a very important thing that there could be a clash of colors inside the circle, which could lead to bad decisions by the umpires, and you understand what will happen. Okay, right. So what are the duties at the technical official table? So we must be very well aware of there's a area prescribed for the judges, in the sense it is just opposite to the center line, 5 to 7 meters from the center line, minimum 3 meters, but 5 meters is okay, and it will be an elevated platform so that the judges can sit and witness the match or work on the match. Okay, so now here I come to the appointment sheet. Okay, for example, during a match, I told you there will be 2 judges posted. Okay, so why we need 2 judges? Okay, there again the speed of the game and then a lot of activities which are happening has resulted in appointment of 2 judges. Okay, so there are specific jobs for these judges. So one we call it the scoring judge, and the other is the timing judge. Okay, so we will come into the detail of the scoring judge and timing judge later on, but to your knowledge, you must be aware that your appointment as a judge for the match is already as per the appointment sheet, which is made by the TD. So the TD will allot, he may allot you as a scoring judge for today, and then he might allot you as a timing judge for tomorrow. Okay, so you have to be prepared accordingly. So your appointment sheet, your match preparation starts with the appointment sheet. Okay, then we have to check. So what are the duties of the technical table as a judge? So you need to check the technical equipment, which will include stopwatches, hooters, depending on the tournament. I mean, since if it's a lower level tournament, maybe you'll have 2 stopwatches, you'll have only 1 hooter, and then maybe you may not have even a stick ring. But these are the basic things required. Why we say is, in case of any breakdown of any of the equipment like stopwatches, one breaks down, so you can have another one as a standby. So minimum 3 stopwatches. One may be used by the TO for the suspended player, for keeping track of the suspended player's time, and 2 hooters, and then the captain armbands with, or maybe you can have ribbons with safety pins. Then you have the scribbling material like the pads, pens, pencils, and then you need to have, of course, stick rings. Okay, this is not to the lower level but to a higher level, because normally these stick rings are kept for in case there is any doubt on the stick, then the stick rings are used to check the authentication of the stick, or maybe to see how genuine the stick is. All right. So before you start off with this, then you need to have the match reports. Okay, why we say three copies of match report is sometimes you get the dignitaries coming, or like you may getting the president or the secretary of the state unit or the federation coming and asking to have a copy, or sometimes you find the selectors of the federation or from the state unit coming and asking you to give you a copy of the match report. One copy will be spare and one will be working on. Okay, then the card registration form and the injury form. Okay, these forms will be dealt with on the last day, I mean day after tomorrow, in detail. Okay, then you need to have a copy of the penalty shootout competition, depending on the format of the tournament. If it is going to be a knockout tournament, then you may have to have a penalty shootout competition. Yeah, of course, then the tournament regulations. Yeah, the doping policy is for the higher level, but still we insist that we make it in general that the doping policy should be there for the teams to know about it. And then as usual, maybe a set of whistles, and then umpire's cards. Umpire's cards look silly, but it is sometimes I've also experienced it that umpires might have left their cards back, so they may need to have one. Okay, then the most important is the match balls. Okay, these duties are in general. Okay, it is not that it's my job and your job, but it is the job of the technicals, that is the technical officer and the 2 judges. Okay, so you need to check the availability of the match balls and always keep a spare ball at the table. Okay, then before start of the match, like if you're there already 20 minutes before, make sure that the stopwatches are working or the clock at the scoreboard is working. Okay, so you need to arrange to inform the TO when the 2 minutes are to the commencement of the match. Okay, it is the TO's job, although it's the TO's job, but as a team you need to help the TO to make sure that the match starts on time. So you have to inform the TO that we have 2 minutes to start. Okay, can we get along? Okay, then you need to provide armbands to the captains. So you have to have these armbands with you so that you can give it to the team managers. Okay, forbidding of practicing on the field of play is of course it is a higher level of tournament. We normally do not permit teams to practice on the pitch when there is going to be a match. Okay, unless it's agreed. Suppose we have too many matches and there's no space, no other pitch in the area, then the TD might say, okay, half an hour before the start of the match, he may allow teams to play, but otherwise it is not permitted. Okay, so the next we have to prepare yourself as per the location of duties of scoring and judge, which include sometimes you will have the electronic scoreboard working. So depending on that, the timing judge may have to work on the electronic clock rather than using his stopwatch. Okay, but always keep the stopwatch for recording the timings in case there's a breakdown of the clock. Then next we have this in coordination with the TO. You need to line up if required. That is, this happens in the local level, the lower level tournaments, where you may need to want to check the numbers of the shirt number of the players if they are precise. Or this happens mostly during the state championships at various levels. So I think you must be aware of it, and then there's a lot of confusion in the last minute. The players running for numbers, and then the manager screaming that the player was not permitted. So just to make sure So in coordination with the TiVo, so you can ask the teams to line up in the field of play, check for the sticks and the numbers, and especially with the for the goalkeeper, his equipments, and then the goalkeeper's numbers if they are on the front and back. Okay, yeah. Any a stick illegitimate is a stick which doesn't pass through the rig has to be has should not be permitted. Okay, so but this is a more technical issue which is done during the pre-tournament briefing. But normally we always advise that if you have a doubt as a technical official, if you have a doubt on the stick, then you are at liberty with the coordination of the TO to check the stick if it is a legitimate stick. All right. So then you say make sure that the players entering the field of play are properly numbered and dressed, and of course the shin guards need to be worn. It is shin guards are strongly recommended, although they are not mandatory. But once if a player wants to wear the shin guards, it should be worn inside his clothing. Okay, and the most important thing as judges or as technical officers, you need to observe is that the uh, inners of the players, the additional clothing worn by the players should not be different from the uniform color what they wear. Suppose if they are having a blue shorts or a blue skirt, so the inner should be same blue. Okay, so this is just for uniformity, and more it is for the broadcast aspect. And the broadcast aspect, it looks very odd on the television. Okay. Yes, of course. Another one is blood-stained clothing. We do not permit blood-stained clothing for medical reasons. That there could be some type of an infection on the, some type of blood infection which could be transmitted to the other players. Okay, so this is quite important. As judges, you must make sure that these are all carried on, although it may not be told to you, but as judges you need to observe all this and you need to act. Okay, now to come very precisely on the timing or duties of the judges, two different judges, one is the timing judge and one is the scoring judge. Okay, if you all agree, you must be you must be very clear to know that again the game of hockey is so fast that it's very difficult, or sometimes it is very hard to maintain consistency, especially when they're managing a game. Okay, so as a timing judge, it's very important for you that it is only time. You don't have to be bothered about anything else which is going around you. Just keep focused on the time. Every time stop, starting from the whistle go till the end of the last whistle. Till the end of the last whistle, it is only time. You need to just keep monitoring the time. Ensure to take the start time signal from the umpire. Unless you get a clear signal, unless the umpire gets a clear signal from the judge, from the timing judge or the TO, it could be mostly the TO, but in coordination as a timing judge, you need to concentrate on the umpire for the start time. Okay, then you need to take time of stoppages, every stoppage from the umpire signal, and this includes penalty strokes also. Okay, so why I'm saying penalty strokes is after a penalty stroke is awarded, automatic time is stopped. So here you don't look for the umpire signal. So the stroke signal is also a time stop. You need to stop the time once the umpire signals for a penalty stroke, because there have been a lot of questions that why there is no signal from the umpire. So the signal of a penalty stroke also indicates time stop. Okay, as a timing judge, you need to stay focused on the match at all times, right from the start to the restart of match. Every stop, every start, every restart you should be staying focused. Okay. So as a timing judge, you may be designated by the TO to sound the hooter. Okay. Most of the times it is the judge who does it, and sometimes it is also the TOs who do the sounding of the hooter. So in normal procedure, as a timing judge, you have to sound the hooter at the end of each quarter. Suppose the match is played in 4 quarters, so each quarter you need to sound the hooter, and then on the countdown of the TO. Sometimes the TO may give you a countdown like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0, go. But most of the times it is the judge who does this. Okay. So again, the same procedure goes for the full time as per the procedure done in the half time. But make sure that you bring the clock back to 0 once you have finished with the match. All right. So that's it for the timing judge. The timing judge, as I told you, is very important, especially for timing. Even the last 30, 40 seconds in a game could result in a goal, or it could result in a penalty corner. And then once a penalty corner is awarded and you blow the whistle, yes, of course, then that's a different story. It's a prolonged penalty corner, and it will continue. Okay. But be careful that if you do not stick to your timing of blowing the hooter once the time is finished, and even if it's prolonged for 3 or 4 seconds, it could land us in trouble, to land the entire technical team in trouble, because the match would have been completed and then there was a play on and then goal scored, etc., etc. Okay, so timing is very important. As a timing judge, you have to be very careful with your time. Always concentrate on keeping the time. All right. So then we have a big job, the scoring judge. Yeah, the scoring judge has a lot of things to do. Of course, he need not be worried much about the time like the timing judge. So his main job will be to check the number of the shirts of the players, the starting 11, against those marked on the match report, which means the team manager would have submitted his starting 11, and he would say that this will be my starting 11. So just before the start of the match, so if you really want to recheck, you can always call the teams to the side and check the numbers before they enter the field of play. Okay. If any deviation, then you need to inform the TO to be corrected. The reason is sometimes if you go into a final match where it's being broadcast live, and then you see the first 11 has been given, but the wrong person is inside, and the first person to come on you will be the media officer or the broadcaster, and he will try to find fault with you and say this player was not on the list and he's gone inside. Okay, so to make sure that the correct 11 has gone inside, just check the numbers. Okay, then the scoring judge will register in the match report the time on of substitute. The substitute player, whoever is entering the field of play, his time will be put on the match report. For this details, we will get. I'll get back to you on the day after tomorrow. Okay. So the scoring judge will record the substitute player, the time on of substitute players, all goals and umpires, cards issued with the number of the player and the time of play. Okay. So there again, the goals. There are 3 different type of goals scored in the game of hockey. So it will be goals, field goals. It will be FG, and for penalty corner it will be PC, and then for penalty stroke will be PS. Okay, so we need to be very careful in marking this type of goals. All right. Then, in coordination with the team of the match, check the team benches. Yes, this is also an important aspect for a scoring judge, just to make sure that the correct 11 has gone inside and the wrong person is not sitting on the bench. All right. So with the TO, maybe the TO might ask you to go and check the team bench if the number of persons occupying the team bench, because your match report may be having 18 players, that is 16 plus 2, but still you don't find the second goalkeeper at the team bench, and then maybe you'll have to inform the TO who will talk to the team manager. Okay, so you need to check for the number of players on the bench. For example, if it is 7 players, If it is 16, then 5 players, then team manager, coach, plus the physio or the doctor, whoever is registered in the entry form. Okay. You need to assist the TO in preventing vocal communication onto the technical officials at the table, umpires, or the players of the opposing team. Okay. This nothing much you can do about it, but you can always inform the technical officer that you heard something from the team management which is not correct, and it is as per the code of conduct, it is not right. Okay, so it is just an assistance. Okay, so to conduct a match you need to cooperate, you need to assist, you need to help the TO in all aspects towards the conduct of the match in a very smooth and proper manner as per the rules and regulations. Okay, so then again you see, then we say preventing unauthorized entry into the field of play. This is nothing much to do with the unauthorized entry, but you need to have a lookout that no other person who is not registered on the entry form will be coming inside the field of play. Okay, so that means you need to keep a watch on off the pitch for somebody coming inside, unauthorized person entering the arena or going towards the field of play. Okay, so control of the player substitution, nothing much to do about it, but still you can always, you have a say. For example, if a player is suspended and his time is not completed and he cannot be substituted, okay, or if a player is injured, he has to have his minimum 2 minutes outside, so he cannot be substituted. All right, so control of the player substitution, when if so directed by the TO, no player going in to enter the field of play until the player is substituted has left. So this substitution process is moreover with the TO, but you need to help the TO to have a proper substitution procedure. Okay, so and again the player with a bleeding injury with blood stains on his clothes should not be permitted to enter the field of play unless it has been adequately covered. Okay, and there should not be any blood stain on his clothing. All right, so this you need to coordinate to help the team. Okay, if required, the next one is if required by the TO, the technical officer, you may need to help or supervise the half-time watering, or maybe if there is insufficient water on the field, this the TO may request you to help him with watering of the field. Okay. Yes. Then we have the goalkeepers leaving their sticks and protective equipment. Normally, what happens is in lower level we don't insist on this, although it is a rule that the players do not take the sticks to the changing room, but internationally or in the top level tournaments, they do permit the players to take because they are all checked before they are permitted to play. Okay, but this is just to avoid any type of incidents when players are taking the sticks across the field to go to the changing rooms. Okay, so this is just to say that make sure that the players leave the sticks and the goalkeepers their hand protector equipment before going to the changing rooms at halftime as decided during the pre-tournament meeting. So if the TD says not required, then not required. The TD insists that they leave the sticks and the equipment in the field of play, then we make sure that they do it. All right. Right. Okay. The most important thing for a judge is after the match. It is not that after the match is over, the judges he has finished his job. If it is a knockout tournament, we still have the shootout competition. Okay. So the TD during the pre-tournament briefing, like I mentioned before, the TD might insist or may give instructions for the duty of the judges during a shootout competition. Okay, normally for a shootout competition, we use the two judges of the match to engage them, one which each team, to stand behind the 23 meters behind the team players who are going to take the stroke, and in organizing to send the players one by one as per the numbers. All right. Why this? Why you? Some of you may ask why we need it if they are going to go on their own. Why we need it? In case if there is the second series of shootout, then we must make sure that the stroke takers are the same 5 persons who had taken the first set of strokes, although there is a change in sequence. And then again, there is no repetition of the stroke taker until the 5 sequence has been completed. Okay, so this is very important. As judges during the shootout, you must be very, very careful to ensure that all the 5 players have taken the shootout to enable them in the second series without repetition. Okay, so this, if anybody has a doubt, they can come back to me for that. All right. Okay, so now after we have done all this, the match has been completed, and you know that everything went on smoothly, and there was no problem in the match. You enjoyed the match. Okay, gentlemen, but let me tell you one thing, that although it looks a little bit silly and boring in the sense, but you still love. If you really love the game, you'll enjoy your job. It's fun sitting there and watching the players, watching the reaction of the team managers and then the spectators, and then you find a lot of activities happening at the same time. The substitution going on at the same time, and there's a penalty corner, and there's a card, and then there's a goal, and then there's a protest, and then there's a crowding on the umpire. But you'll feel so good when everything is gone smoothly, and that you know that you have enjoyed the game. Okay. All right. So last let's be that duties of the judges after the match. Okay, it's not that normally in our days I can tell you that, and I'm not feeling bad about it also, that even before when we were umpiring, and even before we could come out, some of the judges and the TOs have gone home. It's not that. Okay, so but there are duties after the match for each and every one of us. Like for the umpires, they have a job. They may go in for the debriefing. The technical officer may be going around to the team managers, and then as judges, you need to check the match report entries, or the entries in the match report. Especially the scoring judge should make sure that whatever has been entered in the match report is correct. She or he may cross-check with the technical officer on duty, who may also have been recording the happenings. Okay. Suppose you see any wrong entry on the match report and it has been brought to your notice by the TO. Yes, with the permission of the TO, you can change it. For example, when the TO, or when you go to the match, to the team manager to get the match report signed, and he says, no, this was not number 7 who scored the goal, it was number 10 who has scored the goal, and it is a wrong entry, I am not going to sign. Then maybe you can confirm with the TO, the technical officer, and then come back and change the match report and get it done. Okay. So you need to check the match report entries or copies with those of the TO on duty. All right. Then, as a judge, TO may designate you to go and get the match official report signed by the team managers, umpires, and then you may have to sign it before the TO signs. Okay. Then there again, soon after the match, then you have the issues of this captain bans, getting back the captain bans, and from the team for the next match. Okay. And then, of course, if you have anything taken from the players, like the sticks or the goalkeeper equipment, which is not as per the regulations, then you may have to return them back. Okay. Once you're finished with all this, make sure you have taken your acknowledgement from the technical officer on duty to leave the place. Okay. Yes, most important is a protest when there is a protest. Okay. So as I think as hockey people, you may have seen many in your during your careers, or you will be seeing many in your careers again. Uh, Protest. Okay. So there are various procedures for a protest, and if a protest is lodged by a team manager, you need to have a personal note on the views upon the incident. For example, if there were let's say there were more than the required number of players on the field of play when the goal was scored or when the match was likely to be completed, and there's a protest about it, then you need to make sure or tell the TD, yes, they were 12 players, or maybe you may be called even for giving an evidence. Okay. Or if there's a very bad incident on the field of play when where you found a violent incident of players attacking each other, and you have witnessed to it and you were a judge during the match, the TD might call you for giving evidence. Okay, this is very important because you need to give your view for the TD or help the TD to decide on the level of offense and for the sanction for suspension. Okay, then again, we need to have you when you came into the field of play, or when you came to the technical table, everything was set up for you. Okay, which means it was all prepared. Your stopwatches were there, your whistle was there, your cards were there, and then the hooter was there, the stickering was there, everything was there, your water was there, everything. So in the same manner, kindly leave the technical table well prepared for the upcoming match. Not that you finished your match and you just take a walk. Come back, finish your match, take your time, prepare the table for the next match so that it will help your colleagues to run the match smoothly. Okay. The most important thing, ladies and gentlemen, let me be very clear to you. I would never encourage my technical people, TOs and judges, commenting on the empires whatsoever may be the decision. Okay, so that's why we say we should refrain from commenting on the umpiring to persons other than the TD, or maybe if there is an UM, you may comment to the you may have a discussion with the but it's better you inform your boss, like if you inform the TD, so that the TD will also take a note of it, and he will also help the umpire, or he may also try to give a little bit of feedback to the team managers if required. If the team managers come and ask the TD that there was an incident like this and we are not happy with it, and so that they may come to the TD. But when you discuss these things only with the TD, it's always healthy for you, so that you stay as a team. You always want to uh, be a part of the team for better management and better coordination with the technical people, which will help you in your future endeavors. Okay, so I think I think that's it for as far as duties of judges are concerned. Uh, we will check in. Sharmila, madam. Hello. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Hello.
sir. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I done with the judges thing. So if you can keep the thing open for any questions.
Okay, sir.
Can I get out of the screen?
Yes, sir.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
So you can answer the question, sir.
Do you think that advantage given during a play sometimes create confusion among the players? Oh, okay. Mandip Pal saying, okay, it's a good question. Uh, yeah, it's not the question of creating confusion, but sometimes we say avoiding a PC is a better advantage than giving advantage. Okay, so when you think that advantage given was confusion, creating confusion means the empire has to be very clear, very clear in saying play on. Okay, so but sometimes yes, it could lead to confusion when we say a better penalty corner, a penalty corner awarded is a better advantage uh, than giving than saying play on. Okay. Okay, the full form of TO. The full form of TO is technical officer, and for a TD, it is a technical delegate or a tournament director. Yeah, the Hockey Champions Trophy is the national hockey federation. Most recently. Oh, I'm sorry, Mr. Tiwari. Uh, this is something. This is something which I don't know myself. But maybe I can call you back and help you out. But I'm not sure about it. Next. Next question. If at the lower level there is a change. Okay. Uh, okay, Azhar Hussain, there's no problem. You can, if at the lower level, if there is something like, because normally what happens, why we insist on the first 11 is when the team gives the first 11, we send it to the broadcast. We send it for the television, or we send it to the press, or we send it to the selectors who are sitting who are watching the game. But at the lower level, if there is a change like that, no issue. We can just, even if you want to call up the player, you can call off, or you can change the first 11. No problem. You can change the first 11. It's not a big mistake. Next. Oh, from the goalie plays the ball. Okay, Rajiv. Yeah, it's an empowering decision, boss. I think you can wait for a day or two because day after tomorrow or so, there's one of my colleagues, Empire, coming to National Empire coming uh, to run the show for you guys. But let me tell you that if he plays the ball with his hand protector, then he should be penalized. Okay, because goalkeepers are permitted to stop the ball with any part of their body, but they cannot play the ball with the hand protectors, deliberately clear the ball with hand protectors. So you have to be they have to be penalized. Okay, normally they can deflect the ball with the hand protectors. Next. Hello? Can you hear me? Hello?
Hello.
Madam, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Participants, kind attention of the participants. Please, the assignment form link posted is now in the chat box. To request you to submit the form without fail. I repeat, all the participants are asked to fill and submit the assignment form as soon as you receive the link in the chat box. It's mandatory for your assignment. Thank you. So thank you so much, sir, for your wonderful presentation today.
Yeah, the subject is very small subject, but tomorrow I think that time will be just sufficient for the technical, because there are a lot of activities and lot of job description for the technical. Okay, so but I think if they have any questions, they can put it up, so that I think we can move on for another 15-20 minutes.
Yeah, they are posting their questions in the WhatsApp group also.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Okay, sir. Okay. Okay, sir. At this end of the session, I extend my thanks to all the participants for their active participation. Thank you.
Okay. So can we leave?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Okay. Thank you very much.